Okay folks, here we are. Going to take a look now at the SRS Exploration System. So this system is accessed from the website under the MRP menu. You will see below events, you will see SRS Exploration System and several other things. It's not active yet, but that's where it will be. So what is this all about? Basically, this is an idea that I've had for a long time, and it's took me ages to try and work out a way to incorporate exploration into Star Trek Online. Okay, so we used to have a kind of exploration system in the Foundry. There was a lot of scope to add more to that, but of course it was then closed. Cryptic themselves seem to have failed miserably at introducing exploration into the game. I don't know why that is, whether they have limited imagination, limited funding, limited people to do this kind of thing. I really don't know. So I guess it's left to the players to actually form their own exploration system if they can. And this is the first iteration of the SRS version. So at the start, and I don't know how long it's going to look like this because these things evolve as people use them, but at the start you'll see this page here, which basically gives you a summary of what you're going to be doing. And if we just look at the summary there, ideally you would visit a system, take screenshots, write reports, whatever you want. Then you'd go to the SRS Exploration Database file share system, which is built into the website, and add to an existing folder or create a new folder, upload any data that you've collected, screenshots, reports, that kind of thing, and also hit the upload submission form, because otherwise at the moment it's just me controlling this and I won't know you've added anything unless I go and have a look. Now at the beginning that will be easy to see, but if there's a lot of people using this and we've got a lot of systems added and a lot of people added and wildlife added and God knows what else, it would be very difficult to spot what's been added. So you've got to hit the upload submission form. So I'm going to go through all that. To start off though, let's just sort of showcase this a little bit. There are detailed instructions here when you click on that button, which tells you more or less what I've just been telling you there. One important point: when you visit some areas like the Xenix system, which is one of these old patrol areas, when you enter the system it automatically gives you the mission. Now the problem with that is if you turn that mission in, it's then gone. And the next time you go to the Xenix system, you won't see the option to enter the system. So this is a legacy issue. It's not something that Cryptic are going to change, to my knowledge. And it does mean that if you hand that mission in, that's it. You'll never be able to go there again. So I would always recommend that you drop the mission. Ignore the mission, basically. You're creating your own mission here. So just drop that as soon as you exit the system. What and where ideas. So what you choose to upload is entirely up to you. Can be screenshots, can be builds, but please not just links to the Stowe Academy website. Let's take your own screenshots, take your own notes, upload them as nice infographics or character sheets or whatever. Any way you like. There's no fixed format for these things. Surprises. You can meet different NPCs. You can choose to do a study on some NPCs. Maybe you want to study Kurland here. Put some information in there about that character. Travel around the various different systems and try and study wildlife that you might see. New Romulus is an obvious place for that. There's plenty of wildlife there. And there's also some little missions you can do which will give you a lot more information on the wildlife. Get that transferred over to the file upload system. Same for geology. Again, New Romulus is a good place for that, but it's not the only place. Sector space anomalies, log entries, stories even. Log entries would be sort of semi-fictional, so like for example Captain's log, Stardate, whatever it is. We've just entered the Xenic system and we have reports of a new kind of creature that's been spotted on the planet's surface. We're going to beam down and investigate, that kind of thing. The best log entries that were submitted, and these should be done as a notepad text file, they will be, if you include screenshots as well, they will be included on our weekly logs bulletin, which will be sent out to everybody. If you're the first person to enter a system, you will get credited for that and your name will appear, and I'll show you that in a minute. Bear in mind that when you do submit stuff like this, it might not be till the next day until I see it, so don't expect it to instantly appear on the sector space map. Let's have a look at the different sector maps. We've got obviously Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta. There's also Earth Space Dock, Deep Space Nine, New Romulus. This is just the start, okay? There's much more we can add, but obviously these are the main 4 quadrants. So we're going to go into the Beta Quadrant map now. And if you've got a big enough monitor, by the way, you can scroll down and watch the pretty graphics going by. This might take a few seconds to load in, depending on your internet speed. So I've broken up the Beta Quadrant into 4 sections, because otherwise it's just too big to get on a monitor. Even a big monitor like mine can't do it. So I've tested this on a 24-inch monitor, a 27-inch monitor and a 34-inch monitor. I haven't gone smaller than that, but it should work down to about 17-inch. This will not work on your phone, so don't even try it. If we select a sector, you can see that they kind of highlight when you go over them. Let's select section 1. And now we've zoomed in a lot. We can zoom in even more by just clicking the button, mouse button, and that's the maximum possible zoom in this map, in fact in the game. You can also see floating around there a little pin icon that will settle down when I come out of zoom. It tells us it's pointing at Andoria. If I put my mouse pointer over it, it says Andoria, Matt Johnson. So the first person that actually starts to put information in about a system will have their name put on the alt tag, what's called an alt tag. If you click on it, it also comes up here with one of the screenshots that you've added. This obviously is an example one that I've done. Andoria, added by Matt Johnson. Now you may well go into Andoria and add your own screenshots, and you can do that, and it's encouraged of course, just that only the first person that's been there will get their name on the map. This little symbol here, this little laptop symbol, that actually takes you to the database. So we'll look at that in a minute. Let's go down here. I've added one more, which is a very similar thing. Xenic system, added by Matt Johnson. And it loads the Xenic system there. And you can have a look at the different files. When you submit a file to the system, give it a name. Don't just give it image number 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Just give it a name, so rename it before you upload it outside Xenic. If you click on it, it will open up a new screen, and whatever it is that you've saved will appear. This is the little window that you see when you're in sector space. Let me go back. These open in new windows so you can move to the tabs to have a look, and you have a description about this space moth. There's a picture of the space moth cocoon that's been found on the planet. Here's a picture of the actual surface. and system space. Okay. Now the actual file share system is quite simple. We're in the Xenix system here. We can sort these by upload date, name, type. You can favorite them and how many views they've got. We can go back to the beta quadrant and we'll look at the systems in the beta quadrant: Andoria, Vulcan and Xenix system. Nothing in Vulcan, 5 items in each of those. Some options you won't be able to do. You won't be able to move or delete things. That'll be admin privileges. Go back one level as well from there and we come to star systems. So star systems in alpha quadrant, beta quadrant, delta quadrant, gamma quadrant. Go back again to the top level, which is the general files, and you can see I've already added some folders: anomalies, ground builds, key contacts in STO, space builds, space stations, star systems, starship database, and wildlife around the galaxy. And if you want to add a new folder, it's simple, just click on new folder, give it a name. Let's put geology, around the galaxy. Okay, now what I might do then is move that and put that into geology of the beta quadrant, geology of the alpha quadrant, and so on. If I wanted to add something to that, I would just click on it and then add a file. And then the files can be text files, can be pictures. At the moment I'm not allowing the addition of movies because it'll probably fill up our space rather quickly. File types are the usual, but they will be on the website. But usually things like .doc, .txt, .jpeg, .wav for sound files, .mp3 for sound files, that kind of thing. So let's go to the game and go and explore something, and then actually add it in just as you would do. So I'm going to pause this now until I find something interesting. Right, so here we are. We've arrived in the alpha quadrant. We are currently in the alpha quadrant here, and the area that we're in is the Doobie sector, and we are at the LilSys system. So we can start off by just grabbing this little picture here. Now what I recommend to do this, you can just press print screen and that's fine. It will print the whole screen to your clipboard. But an easier method is use the snipping tool. The snipping tool is included in Microsoft Windows. Just type snipping tool down here in the search bar and it will come up. And what you can do there is you can just use new snip and snip that out like that. That goes into your snipping tool, and then you can save to wherever you want to go. So I'm going to go exploration. I'm going to make a new folder. You can make your own folders obviously if you want to do that. Well, actually I've already got alpha quadrant there, so I'm going to put in a new folder here. Look, the LilSys system. So that way you keep your own personal record of what you've done as well. And I'm going to call this LilSys formation and save that. So that's now saved. Now we can patrol the LilSys system and see what's inside. Here we are inside the LilSys system, and our bridge officer is telling us that picked up some unusual readings from the asteroid field. You want to scan the larger asteroids. What you can also do is make sure you've got a tab set up here on your chat window, and you can then look at the NPC's comments. So make sure you've got NPC selected, which is in the chat settings. This one here, make sure that's selected. You can then copy this if you want. So what I might do is just hold down your left mouse button whilst it's held down, Control C, and I might make myself a bit of a notepad, and I'll paste that into Notepad here, and then let's see what else she says. Nothing at the moment. So what we've got to do is go and, you'll notice we've picked up the mission: secure Little Sis system, investigate system, gather asteroid sample. So I'm going to do that. And now here we are, look, NPC has updated, so I can copy that and paste it in here. Cranium Psi, that's my bridge officer's name. And again, the next line. That way you don't have to actually write anything yourself. You can also read the story as well. I'll get the last line. Paste that in there. Gather more information about the asteroids. So I've got to scan 4 more asteroids. There's also hydrazine gas in this system. May as well get that while we're here. After all, that's what we're doing, isn't it? Exploring. So I might make a quick note on here. Okay, I might just push that down a little bit, because I think we're going to get some more information from the bridge officer in a minute. I have 2 more asteroids to sample. Occasionally you will get jumped by enemies, but not always. Some of these systems actually have enemies in them, and that's actually the job, is to destroy the enemies. You can also, by all means, include those patrols as well. So the bridge officer is telling us that she's forwarded the information to Starfleet Command. We will put that in here. So now we have a record of what we've done in there, or what the record of the actual mission. So I'm not going to depart yet, because one of the things I want to do is get a screenshot. And in this case, you could use the snipping tool. Let's find it. There we are. Let's get rid of this notepad a minute. So I can snip the whole thing, but then you're going to get all the stuff here, you know, all the controls and your chat box. You don't want any of that. So an easier way is to actually use the print screen button. Print screen button will save the screenshot into your screenshot folder, and it won't include any of the UI. Another way of doing it is to type in your chat box, just type screen, and you see a little menu that's come up, screenshot. You want screenshot JPEG. Okay, and then press enter. Again, that'll add it to your screenshots folder. And whilst I'm here, I'm going to see if there's anything else worth scanning. And there's something up there. So let's go and see what that is. Let's do a thorough investigation of this system. And it's magnesite ore. you want, you can get a screenshot of that as well, which I just did. So, well, automatically it picks it up. Is there anything else? Nope, not according to this. I sometimes wonder if Cryptic have left little Easter eggs. You know, maybe like on the far side of the planet you find something unusual, and in a few cases that is the case. There's like the occasional space station that you didn't expect to come across. And sometimes you need to move quite a way away before you can find anomalies, but it looks like in this instance there isn't anything else to find. So I think we're probably done. Okay, I might just get one last shot of the system with my ship. There we go. And I'm going to depart the system now. Now remember, important to drop this mission. We do not want to hand it in. If we hand it in now, I'll never be able to come back here again. So instead of handing it in, which the rewards are pitiful anyway, so it's not worth handing it in, just go to your in progress, and it's ticked, but you can just drop it. There, it's dropped. And then now you'll see the patrol little systems come up again. Go in there again and do it again if I really enjoyed it. That's not very likely, is it? Right, so now we go back to our Windows, and I'm going to go to my screenshots folder, and these are all my screenshots, and they are, for me anyway, you need to locate where yours are. It's in the Star Trek Online _EN. I imagine America will be US. Star Trek Online, live, and then screenshots. So let's see what kind of screenshots I've got here. Got this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so you get rewards for each one that you put into the system up to a limit. So don't think you can put in 500 screenshots and get an enormous score, because there are limits. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this one, and I'm going to put it into the Alpha Quadrant system. Inside Lil Sys system. Okay, so I've saved a copy of that. Okay. Maybe, and that's the one I just did. Maybe that one as well. Make a copy, save as. Inside the little system 2. Okay. So I've also, remember, I've got this notepad thing here. So what I can do here is, it's up to you, but you could put just bridge officer here or whatever you want. I think it'll be quite obvious it's the bridge officers talking. So what I might do here is save this, save as. Let's go to the same window. This is a text document. We'll call it mission text. Little Sys mission text. Let's put a capital L. Oh, it's not. Why is it not? Little Sys mission text. Okay. So in the folder that I've just created, I've got 3 screenshots and Little Sys mission text. I'm going to go back to the website now. Okay, so we're now on the SRS Exploration database. I need to go to Star Systems, and the alpha quadrant, because we know it's in the alpha quadrant. And I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call it the Little Sys System. Okay, so I've created the Little Sys System. I'll enter the Little Sys System, and now I can start adding the files. You can add multiple files. Four files successfully uploaded, and then you can click on any one of them to open them up, and it'll appear in your web page here. So it's basically the entire mission. That's all it is. Also the pictures inside the Little Sys System, and some mission text, Little Sys Information System from outside. So all that's been added, and what you need to do now is to put in your game name. So for example, for me that'd be Matt at Tier 4 Mako Specialist. I can't write Specialist, and I'll put here that I've added the Lil Sys system. Make it easy for me by putting in where it is, AQ. Submit notification. Thanks for submitting. And that's it, you're done. Go back to the main exploration page, and according to the rewards, I've added 4 screenshots. Was it 4 screenshots or 3 screenshots? I forgot. Anyway, 10,000 MRP for each screenshot. So that's, well, how many was it? Let's have a look. 3 screenshots. So I get 30,000 MRP for that. And reports, 400 MRP per word. Okay, so that needs to be counted, and it will be counted. I guess it's about, probably about 100 words there. So it'll give me 40,000 MRP there. So I've made about 70,000 MRP for that. Now you're limited to no more than 500,000 MRP a day. And you're limited to up to 100,000 MRP on your written comments, so 250 words, which is actually quite a lot, and 10 screenshots. That's for each system. Now, of course, it doesn't need to be a system. It could also be go to, for example, Space Dock, take a picture of Admiral Quinn, find out a bit of information about him, write a report about the day you met Admiral Quinn. Whatever you want. The limit is seriously is your imagination. What I might do now, if I was doing this for myself, is just basically pick a direction. First star to the right and straight on till morning until I find something interesting. And then go and do all that again and get my MRP. Don't forget, not all systems you will be able to visit. I can't visit that one. Now maybe there's no system there, or it could be that I visited it in the past and handed it in. A good tip would be to use a character that you've never really done much of this on, much exploring on, because then you should have access to every system in the game. Looks like there's a big group of planets down there, so I'm going to head off now and see what's over here at this star system. That's it, folks. If you've got any questions, just contact me in the usual ways. That could be on Facebook, in the game, on Discord, send me a mail, Matt at SRS-Fleet.net, or comments on the news blogs. If you make a comment, I will find it somewhere. I hope you found that enjoyable and useful. See you out there.